Hello there, this is Craig Hain, and my students call me Dr. Dell. And this video is to tell you about a series of books I've written that I call the Golden Rule Math Books. And this particular one is for all God's children, and I want to tell you about it. You can buy them on Amazon, as I'm going to show you in a moment, printed copies or Kindle. And I'm also going to tell you how you can get free PDF copies of them. So this is something, if you are a parent or a student that has studying math in high school or junior high, middle school, this is a book that you're definitely going to want to read and learn about. It's going to be very, very impactful on your life. That I can virtually promise you. Now, I want to share the screen with you to explain this to you. First of all, my personal website is craighane.com. So if you want to know all about me, and there's a lot of free videos on this site, a video library, all sorts of other information, you can go there and learn about me. But what I want to tell you about is this particular book. Now, you can go to Amazon, and when you go to Amazon, let me go back here, there's actually a series of these Golden Rule Math books I've written. And let me move my video a little bit over here. And the one I want to tell you about today is the Golden Rule Math book for all God's children, which sells for $29 on Amazon, or you can get a Kindle version for $9.99. There's also then some other short versions of this book. There's one for 21st century math students, one for struggling students, one for STEM students, one for successful students. Now, all of that's combined into this larger book, and that's the one that you may want to get, but you can buy any of these from Amazon that you want to. You'll also find out that there's ways you can get bulk purchases of them if you're an organization. So let me tell you now about this Golden Rule Math book. You click on that and you will go there, and it tells you what it's all about. It's going to help a parent and a student, this particularly parents, discover how that they can both enjoy teaching and learning math. Going to discover an optimal 21st century math program that does this. And they're going to find why it's much better than an ordinary math program. And you might ask the question, why did I call this Golden Rule Math? Well, I'm a math teacher. I've been teaching math for decades. And this is the way I would want to have math taught to me today, knowing what I know about math and technology if I were a student. So that's the Golden Rule. Do unto others. That's what I'm doing. And I will tell you this, I'll tell you how you're going to be able to get these books, free PDF copies of them, and some other very special offers that go with them are going to be pretty amazing to you. So if you click on this book and look inside, then again, let me move my video here so I can look inside. Obviously, this is it. And what it's about really essentially is how 21st century technologies and tools are revolutionizing and have revolutionized and transformed the way 21st century math education should be conducted. Unfortunately, it's not gotten into our schools yet. But for 21st century math students, math education today is so much different and better than it was in the 20th century. Now, this book explains all about why that is. And if you go to the table of contents, the first part, there's several parts to it, is the essential ingredients that you must have for an optimal 21st century math program. One of them is how you teach math, called spike pedagogy. Another is proper content. This is extremely important and much different today than in any of our current math textbooks or the courses being taught in our regular schools. Then there's a chapter on teacher and coach. And they're two different things, teacher and coach. And I'm going to show you how you can get a great math teacher very inexpensively, and then how you can be a great coach if you're a parent or someone local with the student. Now, part 2 is aimed at struggling math students. And I actually have a shorter book written just on that if you just don't want to read the whole thing. But basically, it's the same information. How do you deal with a struggling math student, and how do you convert them into a successful math student? Then once you do, part 3 is how you make them successful, keep them successful once you get them there. And that can be done today with virtually any student. Now, one category of students today are students that are not going to go to college or going to do some other career. And so I tell you the math that's ideal for them if you're not going to go to college. But what if they are going to go to college? Well, then that's a whole different story. And it depends on two things. Are they going to go into STEM or not? And so this is all about what they should do, in particular, how they get ready for college with the tests like the SAT and the ACT. I also have a chapter on how to go to college with no debt. That's a really, really big deal today, and it can be done. And I explain how that is. And part of learning that will be in part 7. I'll talk about in a second. If you're going to go to college and you are interested in science and engineering, what they call STEM, then this is a whole new ballgame today, and you'll need to really read this chapter carefully, because it's all about a new tool that revolutionizes STEM math and how STEM math should be taught and learned today. It's called Wolfram Alpha, and I tell you about it in that chapter in quite a bit of detail. And so that's it. Now, part 7 is invest in yourself. This is something I believe all students today should think about and learn. How can you become financially self-sufficient at an early age, which will then greatly improve your life? And if you're going to go to college, it'll let you go to college debt-free. If you're not going to go to college, that's fine too. But then how are you going to earn a good living and enjoy life, financially speaking? And then in part 8, I put in something I've done recently. I put in a short history of science that you should know. And the reason is I have a chapter now I call Math Proves God Exists. This is a big deal today. A lot of people think that science, a lot of scientists are saying, well, there's no such thing as God. Well, that's total nonsense. There is something that I call God, and we talk about it. And I have a chapter that I've done on Math Proves God Exists. In fact, then I will send you some videos on it too, that you can watch out of that chapter. And as a matter of fact, I give you 2 proofs, not just one, there's 2 proofs. Okay, now there's some special resources that you get that are free when you read the book. And even more important, there's some special offers. If you decide to teach math the way I'm telling you to, the way you're learning to do it in these books, then I have some special offers for you. You're going to be amazed at how inexpensively you can teach really good 21st century math to your students. It's just impossible even a decade ago. I have my biography there so you can understand it. And finally, then I show you a 6-tier syllabus of the of math today that it should be taught all the way from very beginning in junior high school, post-elementary, getting started all the way through STEM math, calculus, and differential equations. There's 6 tiers involved, and I have the 6-tier syllabus for you to look at. Now, you can read the introduction just by going to Amazon and opening it up, and I would highly recommend, at the very minimum, you read this introduction. At the very minimum. And then this is the back of the book. And it tells you what's in this book. I highly recommend, if you have any students that you know studying math, that you get this book and read it. Now, what does that mean? Well, you can go to goldenrulemath.com, which is our website, and there you'll find out more about it. I have more information on it than even in this short video. In fact, this video will probably also be on that site. But I will also then show you how you can get free PDF copies of this book. You can buy from Amazon. And in fact, if you're an organization, you can buy it in bulk quantities, and you'll learn how to do that on this website. And you might want to do that because Amazon today is a really good deal on this sort of thing. Now, there are other books on Amazon that I told you about. They're shorter books that cost less money and are quicker to read. And so you could get one of those if you wanted to too. Again, you'll be able to get a free PDF copy of any of them, because the whole idea behind these books, and thanks to Amazon, what we can do today is not to make money on the books. It's to educate people as inexpensively as possible, which we can now do. In fact, I can sell you this $29 book if you're like a church or an organization or a group of homeschool co-ops and you want to read the physical copy of it. Well, rather than go and buy it one at a time at Amazon, you can buy a bulk of them. And I can sell you this book for, I think we can sell it to you for $6 or $7 that we can do. We buy them from Amazon ourselves then and resell them to you. And I think we can give them to you for $6 or $7. Then you can either give them away or sell them at a discounted price, whatever you wanted to do. And you learn all about that. Just go to the Golden Rule, wherever you're watching this video, go to the Golden Rule math site, goldenrulemath.com, and you'll learn all about it. And I think it'll just be a wonderful thing for you And I know this for a fact, and I explain it in this book with case studies and stories. This can literally transform a student's life and just give them opportunities that otherwise are not available. And that's all thanks to this 21st century technologies that didn't exist even a decade ago, a little over a decade ago. Okay, so this is Craig Hain or Dr. Dell. I appreciate very much your watching this video. I thank you for that. And I encourage you to go to goldenrulemath.com and get your, at the very minimum, get your free PDF copy, read the book, educate yourself. It's quick and easy to do, and then give your children or your child or the children you know a very optimal, very best possible math education. Dr. Dell, thanks for watching the video. Bye-bye.